this video is going to be a little bit different than many of the videos that we've shot. Done a lot of videos about the animals themselves that we rescue, and not a whole lot of information about what we feed them and how we care for them. And so this is actually one of our most important food sources that we use here at the Wildlife Foundation. This is a jackrabbit. This is a jackrabbit. Now, when we get low on food, it's quite common for me to take my wife on a nice, quiet, romantic drive out through the agricultural areas and pick up roadkill rabbits. And I know that sounds pretty disgusting, but I usually go buy her an ice cream when we're done. So that's kind of one of our dates. And especially the eagles that we have, this is what they eat. They eat a lot of roadkill. This is a very natural food for them. And so this is one that we've been thawing out since last night. I have an eagle that has just come in that was injured very badly out in the Milford area, and it's starting to come along, and we need to get it something that it recognizes as food. You know, if you take and you put out white rats, the eagle doesn't have a clue what that is. You know, they'll eventually learn, but at this moment they don't know. And so this rabbit is frozen, and it actually is beneficial to have it frozen because I need to cut it into meal-sized portions. And since it's a whole rabbit and there are guts in there that we have to deal with, frozen, everything stays together in one solid chunk. And so the first thing I do is pull the skin back a little bit so I can get into it, as you see. And then once we've got the skin pulled up, and we leave the skin on because, again, these eagles, they eat the fur, they eat the bones, they eat everything, and so we want to make sure that they have a full diet, though we don't want it to be too disgusting and messy. And so one of the things that we do is we take out the guts, and so that makes it so we keep the chambers a little bit cleaner. And when we're feeding these animals, there we go. All right, now that we got it opened, there you go. And that's basically that's the heart and the lungs.
Those are
which is good for the birds. So we'll save that because that's good food for them. But the intestines and the stomach is something we want to try to remove in the process of feeding these guys. So having it frozen, again, it just comes off in one big piece, and so it makes it very, very simple to get all of the stuff that we want out. And so basically what I have now is 2 large chunks of rabbit, the front and the back, and this is now ready to put out to give to that golden eagle and see if it'll eat this on its own. And it's thawed out just enough now that within really an hour it'll be just perfect for the eagle to eat. And so why don't you come along with me for just a minute, and we'll take this to the eagle, and I'll introduce you to my newest patient that we have out here at the park, or actually rehab here at my home. Now this particular eagle came from the Milford area, and at first when it came in we thought it had a broken back. It wasn't using its legs appropriately, and we thought there would be a problem. Don't worry about it, it's fine. And if the back was broken, there'd be really very close to nothing that we could do for it. But it is standing, it does use its legs now, it's holding its wings up, and I can't find anything broken on the eagle. Definitely has a concussion, definitely has some balance issues, and so he's very, very banged up, and I'm hoping that he'll eat on his own. If he won't eat on his own, then I have to cut the food up into bite-sized pieces and I have to hand feed him, and I may have to tube feed him, and we've done videos on that in the past. But at this point, if within the next 2 or 3 hours, if he'll just eat on his own, make my life easier and far less stress on him. Now this is a golden eagle. They get the name golden from the color of the feathers on the back of the head. Now this particular golden eagle has very light feathers. A lot of the golden eagles, the feathers are truly gold color, but the feathers are almost blonde, and so it's a lightly colored golden eagle. So he's being a little more alert, and that's a very good thing. We like that. Yes, you are. You're looking. Yes, you are. Hi, sweetie. Okay. What a good boy. What a good... Oh, you're all right. Yeah, I know. We're just going to leave this for you. We're not going to bother you. But if you don't eat that, then I have to come in and force feed you, and we don't want to do that if we don't have to. So, anyway, that's my newest patient. Just came in yesterday evening, and hopefully he'll be feeling good enough that he'll be able to start feeding himself, and we'll go from there. Okay. Just now it's time to do chores. You still sleeping in? How's the boy? How are you doing this morning? My big boy. You can stick him that. There's my baby. This is my big boy. This is Scout. He's a golden eagle. Let's get you picked up here. I know. Come on, big guy. There we go. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come around. That's my baby. That's my boy. This is my golden eagle. His name is Scout. And he is absolutely one of my very best friends. Yes, I know Susan's in the chamber. She's not supposed to be here. I know that, but she's okay. She's okay, baby. This is my boy. And of course, it's very exciting. You know, this is the time of year when they're growing new feathers. And so I'll show you this big beautiful feather right here. Oh, no, just stay here. Basically, this is a major flight feather, and every year they grow new ones. So they drop the old ones and grow brand new ones, so they have good fresh feathers for each hunting season. And he's right in the middle of doing that. And we collect these and we put them in a big box, and we have a big box full of them. We ship them to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services Feather Lab, where these are distributed to the Native Americans for ceremonial purposes. Yes, we do, huh? So you provide feathers. Yes, you do. Such a good boy. Anyway, that's my wildlife ambassadors for the moment. We thought everybody would like to see. Oh, I know, Scout. Yes, I know. He doesn't like strangers. And even though Susan and I have been married for 40 years, you know, he's only bonded to me. He doesn't like strangers, in what he considers strangers in his chamber. Huh, big boy? Yeah, I know. You're looking at Susan. It's okay. You'll go back to your perch? Come on. There you go. It's very important everybody gets fresh food and water every day. And actually, Sue, if you can focus on my arm. Get that? Okay. This is actually just little cuts. These birds' talons are absolute razor blades. And anytime they touch skin, I get these these little cuts and scratches. These, I don't even notice them. I've been handling these guys for so long that I don't notice that until I actually see the blood. These are not animals to be kept as pets. These are wild animals, and even though this is not any kind of real severe damage, but you need to know that these are wild and can be quite dangerous. So anyway, that's just, I get this. You know, people ask if I ever get hurt, and I tell them I get bit, clawed, scratched every day, 7 days a week. So this is completely normal. You know, I like to tell everybody that I'm the founder and CEO of a wildlife rescue center here in southern Utah, which is absolutely true. But as founder and CEO, you know, I have to scrub bath pans and pick up poop and clean cages. And I'll be really honest with you guys, I would rather do this than to have to schmooze politicians and sit in meetings any day of the week. I'd rather just be here cleaning cages and caring for the critters. It's okay. Here's your water. Here's your water, sweetie. There's no politics involved here. These are very, very much real and honest animals. Aren't you, BG? You're a goshawk, and that's all you should ever be. Okay, now we've got everybody fresh water. It's time to get everybody fed. Hi, Scout. And you know, we're getting really excited about this. A local farmer has these gophers. They're around here they call them pot guts or chiselers, and they're just a gopher, and they infest their farm fields, and they really cause a lot of damage. But they're really a very good natural food for these animals. And so anytime I get free food, I'll take free food because it's very expensive to order in rats, mice, and quail. And so that's what this is. And Scout gets a couple of them for breakfast. And like I said, they're perfectly fine, clean. You know, there's no worry about poisons or insecticides or anything with the chiselers. And our golden here, he gets his as well. And we're so excited about him. He was in such bad shape when he came in, but he's doing wonderfully now and flying around the chambers, and he gets his share. And as you see, I really don't go close to him if I can avoid it, for the simple fact that I don't want him hurting himself in the chamber, because he's flying well enough now that he could actually fly hard enough to hurt himself. And so we just throw him about 3 of them, getting him ready for release in the next within the next week. I think we'll have him ready to go back to the wild. And so we're very, very excited about that. And BG gets hers. Hi, BG. Are you ready for your rodent today? Get you a good one? Oh, that's a good one for you, sweetie. Okay, be a good babe. And that's hers. Now, the reason I'm not feeding them on the glove right now is like I said, this is off season. They're molting. They're growing new feathers, and so realistically they're very, very pretty couch potatoes. They have no interest in flying or hunting because they get all they want to eat every day, and so we just kind of let them hang around and get free food. And in September, we'll get their weight back down and get them flying and exercising, and let her be a full-fledged wild goshawk going out and catching and killing wild quarry for herself. And Cirrus, pretty little Cirrus. I know, it's breakfast time, huh, baby? There you go. And she's happy to have her breakfast. And again, growing lots of new feathers. We don't want to stress them. We don't handle them a whole lot. Just kind of take them into the house, and sometimes in the evenings I'll sit out in the yard in the shade with them and just kind of talk to them and visit with them and just relax. But there's no stress and no pressure at this time of year. They just get to be, like I said, couch potatoes. And then we've got a couple more that I've got to get fed here. Let's start off with the falcon. Now this is a fully adult male peregrine falcon, and the problem with this guy, hi sweetie, isn't he beautiful? The problem with this guy is he probably hit a barbed wire fence, and it actually cut off the front about a third of its wing, and so it is. It'll never fly again, and which is very, very, very sad. But the wing is healing, and if it heals up fine without infection, this bird will be added as an educational bird. And so we're just kind of keeping our fingers crossed with the little peregrine falcon. And again, it gets its breakfast as well. Right now, if we go in there and bother the bird, it would run around the chamber, flapping its wings, hitting stuff with the damaged stump of a wing, and could break it open and put us back to square one. So we want to be very, very quiet and let that heal completely before we start to handle him. A little boy. These are little domestically raised mice that come to us frozen, and I've got two baby kestrel falcons, and these guys were orphaned. And these guys, by the end of the month, will be ready to go back to the wild. And give them their mice. Again, as little human contact as possible with these guys because we want them to be wild. And this is why the general public can't come to our wildlife rescue center and see the ones that we're rescuing because we don't want to acclimate them to people. And so these little guys are just kind of hanging out, flying around, free food, and hopefully by the end of the month we'll be able to put them back in the wild, and they'll eat lots and lots of grasshoppers, and they'll eat lots and lots of field mice for the farmers.
If you would like to help us help critters, please check out our Get Involved page. There's all kinds of ways to help and a whole lot more information that you can see from this page or just from our homepage of www.gowildlife.org. And we use that because Southwest Wildlife Foundation of Utah.org is really, really long. So anyway, but right now I want to call attention to one particular link on this page, and that's this one, Food for Critters. The place that we generally order from is called Rodent Pro. Unfortunately, their site's a little difficult to navigate, and it's hard to know exactly what is needed at whatever time that you are able to help out. So first off, I would advise if you'd really like to help out, directly getting critter food for the critters, send an email or give us a phone call, and we'll help you navigate the site and let you know exactly what items are in need at the moment. And also explain that the address here of Tyner's Grooming, that's Susan and Martin's business, so you're safe to send there. So again, it's a little difficult right now, but we've talked with Rodent Pro, and they are in the process of updating their site, and they may even at one point be able to offer gift cards. So that would be a really cool way for people to help more specifically to critter food. But again, please peruse the Amazon wish list because, those items as well, that's all same budget, right? Thanks a lot for your help and your interest.